Netflix is hiding some absolute bangers, total gems that got buried under the hype for whatever the big new release is. So today, we're digging them up. I'm counting down the top 5 underrated series on Netflix that you have to watch right now, so let's get into it. Kicking things off, we're heading to feudal Korea with Kingdom. The basic pitch is this. A mysterious plague starts reanimating the dead during Korea's Wuxia dynasty. The crown prince is forced to investigate this terrifying outbreak, while also navigating a nasty political conspiracy trying to steal his throne. This ain't your average zombie show. Forget slow, shambling walkers. These things are fast, vicious, and absolutely terrifying. Kingdom is like if The Walking Dead had a baby with Game of Thrones. The political backstabbing is just as compelling as the zombie-slaying action. Plus, the cinematography and costume design are just stunning, making it a feast for the eyes. Now the show is in Korean, so you'll be dealing with subtitles unless you opt for the dub. The plot also has a lot of moving parts, so you gotta pay attention. But overall, it's a masterpiece of the genre that will have you on the edge of your seat. Alright, if you're looking for something that will genuinely make you sleep with the lights on, let me introduce you to the French horror series Marianne. The story follows a successful horror novelist who discovers that the Wicked Witch from her best-selling books is actually real. And worse, she's back in her hometown, terrorizing the locals and demanding she keep writing. Look, I watch a lot of horror, and this one is a straight-up nightmare machine. The villain is one of the most unsettling creations I have ever seen on screen, and the show builds an atmosphere of pure, suffocating dread. It was criminally canceled after 1 season, so the ending feels a little abrupt. But don't let that stop you. This is a 1 season and done terror ride that is absolutely not for the faint of heart. Next up is a Brazilian sci-fi thriller that punches way above its weight, 3%. In a grim future, the vast majority of the population lives in poverty-stricken slums, but every year, all 20-year-olds get 1 single shot to escape. They compete in a brutal series of mental, physical, and psychological tests called the process. Succeed, and you get to live in the offshore a paradise island. Fail, and you're stuck in squalor forever. Only 3% ever make it. This show is an absolute killer. If you loved Squid Game or The Hunger Games, you will devour this. The challenges are clever, tense, and they force the characters to make impossible moral choices. It's a sharp, gripping look at what a true meritocracy might look like, and the lengths people will go to for a better life. From the brilliant and wonderfully weird minds of the Wachowskis, the folks who gave us The Matrix, comes Sense8. This is a globe-trotting sci-fi epic about 8 strangers from completely different cultures and parts of the world who suddenly find themselves mentally and emotionally linked. They can share thoughts, languages, and even skills, all while being hunted by a shadowy organization that sees them as a threat. This show is just a beautiful, ambitious beast, and the core idea of radical empathy is its superpower. When one of them is in a fight, they can tap into the martial arts skills of another. When one needs to lie, they can access the con artist's abilities. It's a high-concept action thriller with a massive heart, filmed on location all over the world. It does take a minute to get going, but once it clicks, it's an unforgettable ride that celebrates human connection in the most spectacular way. At number 1 is a show so original, so bizarre, and so ambitious that it's still talked about years after it ended, the OA. A young blind woman named Prairie Johnson, who went missing 7 years ago, mysteriously reappears. The thing is, she can now see, and she insists her name is the OA. She refuses to tell the authorities what happened, but she gathers a small group of high school kids and tells them her insane story, which involves Russian oligarchs, near-death experiences, and travel between dimensions. This show is a true puzzle box. It's a mind-bending, genre-blending masterpiece that you will either fall deeply in love with or completely reject. There's no in-between. It asks massive philosophical questions and demands you take a leap of faith. It's a slow burn, for sure, and was tragically canceled on a massive cliffhanger. But I'm telling you, the 2 seasons we have are a journey so unique and unforgettable that it is absolutely worth the heartbreak. That's all I've got for today, and thank you for watching this video. What's your favorite underrated gem hiding on Netflix? Drop it in the comments below. If you found your next binge watch on this list, do me a solid and hit that like button. And of course, subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on the next round of recommendations.